Hi Aquarius, it's Veroosh. Welcome to my channel. This is your reading for the eclipse that's happening tomorrow on May 26th. This is going to come out really late for you guys. I hope you don't mind. And I had a request for this one because somebody went through something. So I hope you're okay. And I didn't realize it was that bad. And so I hope everything's okay. Anyway, sorry it's late. I got really overstimulated doing the reading for Virgo. I'm a Virgo if you don't know, so it was just like a lot of energy. Plus with the eclipse coming, it just feels super intense. So anyway, so what we're going to do first is take a look at your astrology for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars. And then we are going to do tarot card readings, 2 of them. And hopefully that will give you some messages. One thing that I want to say before is that I'm going to do a members only video that is going to cover the big transits that are happening right now until June, and then I'll do a tarot card reading with it. So yeah, just for the members. I'm going to do a little bit more for the members because you guys have been waiting, but we have to fit it in so that, you know, yeah, so we can fit it in. But also, like I said, like too much information for me, like I get overstimulated. I think that's an Aquarian thing. That's why I'm talking about it. So I feel like maybe right now you're dealing with a lot of insight and intuition, and just a lot of things are making sense and a lot of things are very crystal clear. And that is in some way, you know, giving you kind of, it's intense to deal with. Oftentimes a lot of stuff you have some understanding of things, but this is like things like clicking into place and being able to see all that. That's more of an intuitive message. So I think that's the Aquarian side of me that's just picking up a lot of information. You have Saturn in your first house in Aquarius. That means it's in rulership during this eclipse, and it's gone retrograde on the 23rd of May. That's very important. So it's already halfway through Aquarius since December. It actually moves fast, but it has a long retrograde cycle. It ends its retrograde on October 10th. So it's going to be a while before it goes direct. This is a good thing because you've probably already felt like all the pieces have been showing up in terms of like what you need to fix, in terms of what's not working, things that you need to be aware of. And this retrograde cycle will definitely allow you to do that. So there's going to be a slowing down, and especially if you're going through the stuff that this friend of mine mentioned, then I think that if you're going through stuff like that, then you will have an opportunity to catch up, right? But anyway, so this is important. I'll tell you guys how Saturn is involved in this eclipse, but let's focus on the eclipse first. The eclipse happens on May 23rd from 4 a.m. till 4:30. That's the main eclipse. And that's Pacific time because I live in British Columbia. That's California, Oregon, Washington State. So if you're on that line of the Pacific Standard Time, then you will see the eclipse from 1:30 or 1:45 a.m. until 6:45. But the most intense part of the eclipse will be at 4 to 4:30, and the moon will set at what, 5 o'clock or something. So that's when you won't be able to see it. If you're on the East Coast, you're not going to see it at all because it'll be, well, you will see the first 3 hours or so. So from 4:30, like maybe, you'll see like 30 minutes of it, right? Because it starts at 1:45, and then, so maybe if you're getting up really early, you can catch the setting of it as the eclipse begins. And if you are practicing with working with the energy, some people practice with it, some people don't. I think it's a good energy for many Aquarians and Scorpios to work with in general. I think there's other signs that do well with it, but I feel like that's a good energy for those 2 signs specifically. So if you have those, it's good for you. I wish I had more time to do separate videos. A lot of people are watching from other like the astrology from other parts. So you get a little piecemeal of it everywhere. Because I don't have time to do like dedicated videos. Anyway, this is more interesting than repeating myself. So there's been a big conversation about whether or not to do magic energy work during this time, and people are very opinionated about it. And so there's been a lot of discussion. There always is. And what I'll say to that is, if you have like a strong energy where you kind of, I don't know how to describe it. If you have an intense energy and you thrive off of intense and you know how to like be humble before the universe, I think that's the main part, then you will be able to deal with that. Okay? So you will be able to process this. Okay. So sorry. Yeah, that's probably the best explanation I can do. So if you're on the East Coast, you can catch like Toronto, Washington, or wherever else, Pennsylvania, then you can catch a glimpse of it, and it can kind of give you another question I had about that was, if you don't see it, does it still matter? Yeah, it still matters, but if you see it, if you're under it, the visibility part, of course, it's like more intense. It's like being in the spotlight or whatever. If you don't see it, it's still there. But if you're under it, then of course you feel the presence. So that's kind of an intro on that. The moon is with the south node in Sagittarius. And so that is that area. And the sun is with the north node with Aldebaran. Which is a star right here in 9 degrees. And so earlier today, there was some misinformation where somebody was saying that Antares, which is a fixed star here in Sagittarius, but really in Scorpio, was a part of this. I don't think so, because stars don't have a big enough orb, and the moon doesn't have a big enough orb either to connect with it. So I would say stay away from thinking that Antares is a part of this, and frankly, it's better that it's not, because essentially, if it was more connected, like if the moon was up, if this was like a 7 or 8 degree eclipse, that Antares has the potential of great calamity. So the fact that, and that was kind of part of the misinformation I heard somewhere else. So 2 weeks ago, I made a video when I talked about Aldebaran, and I don't know if this person ran with it, but it doesn't seem like they did much astrology with stars before, because they said some things that I know where they read it from, and it wasn't like a deeper understanding. So when somebody tells you about Aquarius, they give you a very simple answer, and if you know a little bit astrology, whether they know more or not. I thought this person was great, and so when I saw that, I was kind of disappointed, but I'm not going to talk about it any more than that. Anyway, so I did this, I made mention in my weekly a couple weeks ago about this being conjunct Aldebaran, and then this person made a video for the eclipse and mentioned, or some content for the eclipse, and mentioned that that both Antares and Aldebaran, which are two opposing stars here, between Scorpio and Taurus constellation, but in terms of zodiac, Gemini and Sag in Western, oppose each other. But it's not true. This eclipse is connected to Aldebaran in Taurus constellation, which is Gemini zodiac sign, but it's not connected to this because the sun has such a massive orb. The sun has most power, so it takes up the most space. But anyway, that's the technical answer. I was waiting for the right place to kind of say something. I guess with Aquarians, I'm most matter of fact. So anyway, it's a good thing, like I said, because with this position here, there could be great calamity. And both stars have some dark aspects to it, but I think in this instant, because it's North Node with the sun illuminating the North Node, the Dharma of the path, I think it's a very positive placement, provided that too much force isn't used or unfair force isn't used to achieve one's goals. then that's fine. Okay, so the sun with the north node illuminates the path. It is super. I did this video on another app. I'm not going to say which one, but the sun is with Aldebaran, and Aldebaran magnifies the sun's power. And so when the eclipse happens and the sun shines onto the moon and the reflection is blocked by the earth and then turns back on, so to speak, at 4:30 or 4:25 and brings the light back in, the force of that light is stronger. This is a star that you can very clearly see on, like, it's one of a very, very bright star. I don't know if it's like 1 magnitude or even less. So it's a very bright, bright star, the brightest star, I think, in the Taurus constellation. And so with the sun being behind it, and on that video that I made on the other app, I talk about what the mythology of that is, and it's quite interesting, so check it out if you want. And maybe somebody in the comments can tell you if you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so the light of Antares is magnifying this energy, and so it's illuminating this, and the force of that light, just like visual light, this light is really dark, really bright here, as opposed, and so the fact that, like, in comparison, this light, which is really soft, it's a plant life, right? If we have an eclipse with a light like this, then it's less dramatic, right? So if you block it, it's less, the shadow is less dramatic. But when you have Antares behind the sun with this brighter light, you can see the shadow much more. So that's the situation that's happening. And the light represents the force and the energy and the transformation. With the south node, it's catharsis of the past. And so for you, sorry, there was a fruit fly flying around here. But anyway, so with this position, and especially in your transits, I feel as though you're the ruler of the 11th house. So this is significant. Your house is in Sag, but I feel as though, like, relinquishing old friends or old patterns. Actually, like, I'll be frank, and the person who this is about is watching, but please don't take that personally, but it's just like an insight. So she had contacted me 2 weeks ago, and I was busy, and it's the emails I miss, because I always think that my friends will, like, forgive me, but it's the emails I miss to answer thoroughly, are the ones that are often the ones I should have answered. I have, like, I think I did that to myself, like I cursed myself to do it because I felt so guilty about doing that once, and it's happened several times through. If you email me, I'm a very thorough emailer back. Like, you guys know in the comments, I want to respect people and communication as much as I can. But anyway, I missed her email, I was super busy, and I just thought it was like a comment, and so I sent a short email back, and then I realized that she had gone through something pretty intense today. And so what was the point of this? Aquarian energy, you guys get me kind of diffused. What was I trying to say? Shoot. I'm not going to give up on this reading. Hold on. Oh yeah, with friends. So I was telling you guys about this, and so I think she's a friend. She's been with the channel for a long time. She's contacted me a lot, and like, she's always, like, come through even in, like, my weakest moments. So I had this feeling, not that she would walk away from me or not be my friend, but I felt as though I was letting her down. And I'm not doing this like out of guilt or anything, but I just realized, like, it was that, like, it was that level at which I needed to be there for her, you know? And I realized that she had depended on me in that moment. You know, she reached out to me, and I'm really honored that you did. And so it was like kind of a test of friendship, but she's not testing me. It's just like me kind of thinking of that. And so with this energy, it's like, if your friend, and so I almost messed it up, in other words, by being callous or distracted or insensitive. But I believe when people like reach out and stuff, that's like a blessing to me. Like I feel like that's a gift that somebody wants you to be there with them through a difficult time. And so I feel like here, this is about a lot of that for you guys, about friends who are not there for you, friends who dip out on you when you need help, because the stereotype is you dip, but you get dipped out on a lot, right? And so that sort of holds you back from free flowing into your happiness. And this is where the North Node and the Sun are right now, and Venus and Mercury's going retrograde. So you're rehashing where you are going in terms of happiness. It's like reclaim it more. And so in some way, this eclipse is about letting go of friends who are not really friends, or not really good for you that way. So that's the tea, sis. Okay, so I hope that you guys like that. I think that's enough information in terms of astrology, but be back for more. If this is the first time you've watched this, I have an Aquarian moon and I'm obsessed with Aquarians. You guys are my weirdos. I called you guys this for many years now, and so yeah, all power to you. And yeah, if you're going through difficult times, you're my favorite. You are. Okay, so let's take a look at your energy. I got him out. I hope that was a helpful explanation. I think that was the best one I gave, frankly. Basically, like cutting out shitty friends that are holding you back. And the North Node, it felt like a wave. It felt like a frequency wave. And so imagine like singing and somebody like butting in or pushing you, and you like, it throws you off of tone, right? So it's something like that. Okay, so we have this guy, 11 of air. He's not the scribe, but he's like the page of swords in the regular deck. This is the Dreams of Gaia tarot, but it's not page of swords. I forget what he's called. And then we have the Queen of Earth, Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Look at this, is one of my favorite cards. Thankfully, I'm a Virgo sun, so hey girl, hey. What's up? And Jubre, which are bison, are my favorite animals, and so there's like a bison there. That's why I claim this energy. Okay, so let's see the next message. We have the 10 of fire. This has been coming up a lot. A lot of people are in their strength through this eclipse. Let's see. This is you guys probably. This is probably, no, I don't know. And it could be man or woman, so just don't get too tied up with signs and gender. These are just like rough kind of definitions. So we have 11 of fire, similar energy to this one. So this Page of Wands. On the bottom we have the 9 of Pentacles. Somebody else just got this. Wealth. That's Venus and Virgo. That could be a timeline kind of message, because Venus is going to be in Cancer, then Leo. She's going to be in Virgo by September. So it's going to come fast. So if you're wondering about something, the timeline may be actually September. This reading is for the eclipse. However, I would consider it further than that, like its effect is going to be long-reaching. I would hesitate to say how long. I think that that's a mistake to try to gauge it. Some people just fall into this routine. Oh, next eclipse is then and this. And there's like different parameters and different iterations and stuff. Okay, so I feel as though there's a clique of people. There's 3 people who are very, very close. This is describing, again, oh yeah, okay, so 11th house, friendship, okay. I feel as though you're meant to form an alliance with 2 other people. And this feels like 2 younger males and a female, but it could be a variance of that depending on your situation. But they're like a force, a team to be reckoned with, and the outcome is great financial success. This is really, really on point. I really like this energy. Let's bring them all. I've been hiding the cards, but I should be kind of leaving them there. We're about to start the next part. So this is just the theme reading to get us familiar, but yours just came through, so your energy's coming through so clean. So you are a part of the night chart, right, in astrology. It doesn't mean that you were born then, but Aquarius is a part of, and I was thinking to myself, and I'm like, oh, I'm reading at night for them. It's really in line with your energy, maybe. Maybe it's like there's a harmony there. Okay, so here's your cards. Ace of Pentacles, a new financial opportunity, or maybe you've started a job. If this is a job, these people are your allies at this job. You'll have, I sense a lot of fun, and I sense the young people, these two, are like a spunky energy. The next energy is the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so lots of money ahead. There's a lot of trust. They're no nonsense straight shooters, all three of you. And that's kind of like, I have this opinion about things that, like, in high school, there's the popular kids and then all the people that want to be the popular kids. And so the people that want to be the popular kids are often very aggressive, and they try to, like, become popular in many ways. And some of them are maybe not embarrassing, but maybe not great. And so, and I feel like the popular kids, the kids who are really good at school, or they're really good at art, or they're really good at music or sports or whatever, they have good attitudes, right? It's the ones that are trying to be something, especially if it's not good at something but rather popular or socially successful. The ones who are trying to get it are the ones who are tough to deal with. And so, but there's often very few people that are very much in their power. And so everybody else is just wheeling and dealing and trying to hustle their way and figure it out. And so I feel as though, and so in life, finding people like that is really hard to do. And so I feel like you have found people like that, like these, and it may not last forever, but I feel like it's a strong alliance for now. And then you have look at this, Two of Pentacles. Boom. Wow. Look at all these money. Nine of Pentacles, Aquarius, money bags. So there's strength, pushing forward. There's a strong agenda. Success. Do you see how they're kind of at her side? Like her like bodyguards or her friends or like allies. And so they're all, but it feel like totally money. Like money's the name of the game. Success. It's not done through anything dishonest. And like I said about the popular kids, they are just so on point that it's impressive. So be excited. I would be excited. And then we have the Seven of Cups over here. This is the second part of the reading, okay? So I know I didn't explain this well, but we're talking, sometimes if you're new, sometimes when I talk about things tangentially, especially with your sign or Pisces, it's really the reading. So listen again to the things I said because they're allegorical to the message. And then Five of Cups. And then Five of Swords. Look at this. There's like just walking through a mess. And then Three of Pentacles. I really sense, like, do you know when they say step over the problem? Like go over, like when they go low, you go high. This is the kind of end lovers. So you definitely have, on the bottom we have the Hanged Man. So delays. So there's definitely opposition to what you are doing. Boom, a big barricade like this. I feel like this is coming through, but it's like a tsunami. It can't be stopped. In other words, what I think is happening is that you formed or are forming very distinct relationships with allies. And I think that whenever we're strong, then opposition meets us in equal strength. Now, maybe not equal, but for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. Not really true, but there is a reverb, to that. And so you will, whatever you were dealing with, maybe this is you, whatever you were dealing with on your own is still there for you to deal with. But now you have allies and you have companions and friends. And it was like a mountain to overcome before. Whatever the problem was, whatever was standing in your way, complicated problem. But now it really feels like kick-ass. It feels like a really strong alliance of friendship. This could be another person. If this is a person, then this person is like a big deal, and they're like a powerhouse. This card is the Ten of Wands, but it's not like the Ten of Wands in the tarot. I really don't recommend reading this deck like a tarot deck. I think it's much more than that. It's much more, it's just so amazing. So anyway, so this person is just, if this is, I have a feeling this is a person for many of you. So there's 4 people. This could be spirit. This could be a spirit guide for one of you guys, or it could be a very high vibrational person, and there's just like an alliance, right? Or this person is tapped into one person, and if I were to say which one, it would be this person here. So it could be a friend, but this person's with these people, so this person helps. But this is like someone who has incredible reach, and reach means that they can do a lot of things, connect in a lot of ways. Okay? And when you will, it's almost like going into war over something. And when you go into war, there will be like the confrontation of it. But the outcome is going to be strength and appreciation and more pentacles, like money, but there's delays because you have to address this. You have to address the roadblocks. Okay? So you guys are going to rock. And I'm sorry if you guys have been going through a lot. Maybe let us know in the comments. And don't feel, to the person who, you know, asked for this, you don't feel like you need to self-identify. In fact, maybe it's better that you don't mention anything. You can say hi if you want, and I won't tell them who you are. I know a lot of Aquarians, so I think that financially things are in a positive turnaround. And this feels very, very strong. I think this is like shedding crap. And this is like the people, you know, when you level up, people who had you at a certain level and they felt comfortable with you at that level, they get mighty uncomfortable. So this isn't more than that, people being uncomfortable with your success. So just be solid, confident, you can do it. I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye. Oh, and members, your video will be in the description and in a few days. And so keep looking and I'll give you a notice for that video. Okay, bye.